and welcome back to Boring Reviews. Nick there.
I'm making like creepy faces. I'm trying to. Joey there.
That's okay, because before you started the video, I was doing this.
We are out of it right now, my friends, but that's okay.
Yes. Let's just say, if you're a teacher out there, you understand like the last month and a half of school, it is like draining, it's exhausting, the kids don't want to be there, you don't want to be there, you're still trying to teach them, you're still trying to collect grades, and it's just like you come home and you just want to pass out.
I wonder if it's like, accountants or CPAs. Like, tax season is crazy,
Yes.
right? But they still work year round. So, like, once tax season is done, and maybe they just, like, work off the adrenaline, they're exhausted, but they still have to go to work, and it's like, okay, what do I do now? Like, I'm going to keep working my 9 to 5. It might be similar to that. Who knows? But you don't want to hear about that. We're going to check out another travel video. As you know, we're going to be visiting England quite soon. And so this was one that kind of popped up as a suggestion on the previous video we were reacting to. She's like, hey, let's check this out. What are we checking out today, Jody?
The don'ts of England. We just don't want
Visiting England.
Just kidding. I was reading the title on the screen.
Yeah,
The don'ts of
true.
England. But the don'ts of England, don'ts of visiting England. Since we're going there, we don't want to be like, oh, those Americans. I have a student who's from France, and so today I was like, oh, those French.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
She hates the French. She didn't watch too
No.
much Al Murray.
Not at all. I was just making a joke. But, we don't want to be seen as like, blah.
So, if you're excited about our reaction anyway, please don't forget to
Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get us up to 100,000 subscribers. We'd really like that.
She would very much like that.
Very much so. I really want to do that before we get to England. Can you please help us?
And we're going to check out this video from Wolter's World. If you like this video at all, go ahead and check out his channel. Here we go.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolter's World, and today we are back in England for the things you don't want to do when you come to England. Now, the first don't I have for you is don't worry if you don't understand the English. You may have spoken English, or you thought you spoke English, since birth. You may think you're a native speaker, but don't be surprised if sometimes you might not understand people here in England, because they do have various accents, but also some of the colloquialisms and sayings and phrases they do use here sometimes can throw you off thinking, oh wait, is he trying to be mean to me, or is that a joke? I'm not sure. And the humor here can be very different, so don't worry if you don't understand the English. The second don't be scared of the food. Now, don't expect to have a culinary masterpiece every day here, but don't be scared to try the food. I know a lot of people talk about England and it's kind of like, oh, there's cool sights in the countryside, but the food, oh my God. Look, I've been coming to England for about 20 years now, and I actually have seen the food getting better. There's tons of international food, there's tons of different restaurants throughout the country, but the thing is, the traditional English food can be pretty fun. If you go to a pub and you have, your steak and kidney pie or your shepherd's pie, or you go for a Sunday roast, it's Sunday tomorrow, and I'm kind of excited to hit the pub to have a Sunday roast with Yorkshire pudding, you'll be surprised that you might actually like the food.
I never knew that's what a crumpet was.
Oh.
I'm not going to lie. Did you know that?
I did know that. Only because, for whatever reason, it was brought up in class one time, and then we ended up looking it up because we couldn't decide if it was a muffin or...
So, it's called a crumpet there. We call it an English muffin, but the English don't want to call it an English muffin.
It's fine.
What if it's an English crumpet? I did not know that.
Love to have a Sunday roast with Yorkshire pudding. You'll be surprised that you might actually like the food here, so don't be scared about the food, okay? It can work out just fine. Now, the third don't I have for you is don't just stay in hotels. One of the quintessential parts of coming to England and driving around England and going through England is to stay in the B&Bs, the bed and breakfasts, because they have a whole network of B&Bs throughout the countries, in big city, in small towns, and villages out in the countryside, and it really is a quintessential part of visiting England, because what's cool is you're staying with a family, and they're going to talk to you, they're going to give you the tourist information, they're going to give you the stories, the history. You're in their home, and you see, wow, so this is how English people live, this is how things are, and it gives you this cool idea. And that's one thing I really want to say is, look, you're not staying at Ibis all the time, okay? Go stay in a B&B so you can really get a feel of the place. And one of the really best parts, if you're going to some of these smaller towns and stuff like that, stay in the B&Bs. Sometimes your only option, but it's definitely the best option when you're here. And also, to tie it in with the second thing about the food, Usually you get a full English breakfast with it, you know, with the the black sausage, the black sausage and the bangers, the normal sausage, and the beans and the toast and the eggs and the fried tomatoes and mushrooms and all those things.
That's amazing.
And it just feels like a really special experience.
beans, though.
Now the fourth don't we have is don't be scared to drive. I know they drive on the left-hand side of the road
terrified
here,
of it.
which can be a little confusing or off-putting for travelers when they come here. But the thing is, public transport is really kind of expensive here. Taking the train throughout the country, oh my God, it is expensive. So you're going to want to rent a car because you can get to all these little tiny villages and see the stately homes and, you know, that Downton Abbey stuff you want to see. You can go and see those things with your own car. So don't be afraid to rent a car here. However, I will warn you, when you first driving down the other side of the road, it is a bit, you know, off-putting. You're like, oh my, am I going the right way? And then when you hit your first roundabout, good luck, my friends, good luck. But don't be scared to drive because you want to drive throughout this country. And if you are going to be driving, I do recommend getting the GPS for you because when you're driving the other side of the road, you're going to be so concentrated on that sometimes you'll miss the turnoffs and stuff. And with all the roundabouts and everything, GPS, just a lot easier to deal with. I'll just tell you that one right now. Another thing that kind of deals with that other side of the road driving is don't forget to look right when you cross the street. Look, they're driving on the left side of the road, so the cars come from the right, not the left. And I can't tell you, I've been in York, I've been here in London, I've been in Cambridge, Brighton, throughout most of the districts around this country, and tourists from everywhere in Europe and everywhere in the US, they come walking in and they look left, and the car's coming this way, and it's like, beep, beep, oh my God. And you have that almost death-defying or a death-inducing moment. So don't forget to look right when you cross the street. Remember, it's right, left, right,
Same
because the
when you
cars
turn.
are coming from that way because they drive on the left hand here, left-hand side. So please don't get killed, okay? So don't forget to look right. Now the sixth don't we have for you is don't think that London is England. London is a great city. It's an international city, but it's not all what England is. It's like saying, I went to New York, so I saw America. No, it's not like that. Or I went to Berlin and I saw true Germany. No, Berlin, New York, London, they're very cosmopolitan cities with people from all over, and it's just such a cool melting pot that London isn't just England. There's so much more to see out there, so definitely get out and explore the countryside, because I'm serious, you go to York, you'll fall in love. You'll go to the beach by Brighton or see the cliffs of Dover or go to, go to Cheshire and all the kinds of cool places. You're gonna have a great time, but realize that, look, England is not just London. Get out and explore this country. And kind of also going with that, remember, England is not Britain. They're two different kind of things. Britain makes up, Scotland, Wales, England all together. So if you see people that are English, they're different than British overall. A Scotsman will be upset if you call them an Englishman, but will be probably okay if you say they're British. All right, so just know that one. Don't mess up the British English with people around here. Okay. Now the seventh thing I want to say, don't forget your P's and Q's, i.e. don't forget your politeness and knowing how to stand in the queue here. Because people in England are extremely polite, sometimes to a fault. Like, I feel like I've said sorry enough, but I feel like I need to say sorry more. And you'll get sorries if someone bumps into you and stuff. They'll say sorry, excuse me. You need to do the same thing. So when you come here, make sure you do bring your manners. That's why we all wish, I wish my boys could grow up to be an English gentleman. Now, not everywhere are they English gentlemen. I mean, go to a pub late at night with beers going around, you'll be like, what? There's no English gentleman here. Yeah, there is that. But in general, manners are a very important thing here, so make sure you don't forget your manners. But also, don't queue jump, i.e. don't butt in line. They do not like that here. They are very much, we have our line, you stay in your line, you do not mess with the line. So get to the end of the line. So just know that one, because that's one thing I see that most of the tourists where people get upset is the line butting and stuff, because Germany, it's like a mad rush for a door or something like that. Here we'll wait in line, it'll be fine, let the people come out of the tube, we'll go into the tube, let the people get out of the train, let the people get in the train. So you do have that, so don't forget your manners, okay? Your P's and Q's, don't forget those. And the eighth thing you don't want to forget when you come here is a raincoat. Now I've been here and I've been very lucky. This is my 4th day here, and there's still no rain. So yes, it does happen that it doesn't rain here. It's not like it rains every day in England, okay? But I will say, if you are gonna come here, even in the summer, bring a light waterproof jacket, but more importantly, bring waterproof shoes, because that's where you're really gonna get wet, because you can buy an umbrella for like 5 pounds, 10 pounds, no problem. So, but just don't forget that waterproof jacket, because you will eventually need it, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been very lucky this time. I've been coming here for 20 years, and this is probably the second time I've actually had like nice weather the whole time. So it's awesome when you have it, but it doesn't always happen. And the ninth don't I have for you is don't forget to go to the pub. This is definitely a pub culture place.
We did hear about
Go and
that
have
a
your
lot.
pint, enjoy the talking, the people, all kinds of stuff, and you will enjoy it. So I hope that helps you know what don't to do when you are here in England. If you want to learn more, 5 things you'll love and hate about London, 10 things that'll shock you about England, check us out on our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and we really appreciate your likes, subscriptions, and we hope you have a great time here in England. And, well, don't forget to have a good time. All right? Bye from England.
Okay, he does have an example that showed up that said like the 10 most shocking things for tourists in the United States. If you want us to check that out and like let you know like what we think of it, let us know.
How accurate that is.
Yeah, well, or that, not even that, it says like that foreigners who come here like are shocked that we have. So it would be interesting to check out like what is shocking for them that's not shocking to us, you know?
Gotcha.
I bet one thing is going to be tips. Because I hear a lot of places, like other countries, like tipping's just not a thing. And here it's like, that's all we do. Do we need a tip in England? Like,
let us know, because we tip. And big part of that is I used to work in the service industry for years when I was going to college. And so we tip, whatever. But there's a movie called Waiting about restaurants, and it's a comedy. It's very satire. But there's a scene in the movie where you have these foreigners who are speaking whatever language you're speaking, and they're like, oh, we know we're supposed to tip, but they think we're foreigners, we're not going to, so you don't have to worry about it. Cool! So, is it a thing in England? Is tipping just as big as it is in America? Yeah. Or is it one of those things like, no, why would you tip them? That's just an American thing. That's crazy. Because I've heard it both ways.
And I've also heard that it's sometimes offensive when you tip.
Yeah.
I heard that it can be offensive.
Definitely let us know that.
So please, let us know anything offensive, anything we shouldn't do.
It just isn't expected anywhere else beside a restaurant. Even at a restaurant, isn't expected. So what's a good tip?
Yes, let us know.
But as far as this video, the driving thing has me a little nervous. Not too nervous, but I just never done it before on the left side. Never driven on the left side of the road before. It's going to take some time. I'm probably going to, like, when I first got my car, driving around with my dad or whatever, and, like, go in a parking lot or something and just kind of practice it.
We should just
go
do
on
that
a small
here.
street.
Yeah, and just practice, like, in a parking lot or here. But what I will say is we're not driving the entire time. We actually really are going to take public transportation most of the time. I think it's just, like, 3 days that we're going to hit a bunch of small places.
3 or 4 days that we want to drive
that
quite
we're gonna
a bit.
Car.
So there will be some driving involved. But, excuse me, but yes. But there was another thing. What was one of the last things he said?
Manners?
No, I mean, using the post thing as a litter box. Who would do that?
That's
it's ridiculous.
So sad. Yeah.
Oh, he said something, and then you looked at me. It wasn't the driving thing. It was something else. Oh, the pub.
The pub.
So we've had so many comments because we don't drink alcohol at all. Not like just on a rate at all. And so we had mentioned, and there's no point of us going to the pubs because we're not going to drink. People said, no, you've got to go just for the experience. You don't have to drink. Let us know how accurate that is, because I remember when I was working in the service industry at a restaurant, they always want to go out for drinks. And I'd always say, I don't drink. There's no point. And they would say, no, you don't have to drink. Just come along. So I would go a few times. And yes, you have to drink to have a good time, because all of them will get wasted. They're all goofing around. I have no idea what's so funny because I'm not in that drunk stupor or whatever, bored out of my mind, whatever it is. So let us know. Is it the food, or that? I don't want to show up to a pub and be like, you're not going to drink? What are you doing here?
That's what a lot of people said, though. A lot of people said in the daytime, it's family-oriented. Okay. It's the good food, it's the experience, it's the culture. At nighttime, it is more the drinking. But a lot of people said go for lunch, go for Sunday. A lot of people said go for Sunday for that Sunday roast like you talked about. So I feel like we need to go on a
Definitely
Sunday.
Want to do that.
And I figure, like, we'll probably hit up some cafes because we're just going to figure out when we get there. I know that a lot of the places we had booked, some had, like, even though they were bed and breakfast, some had like little restaurants and stuff, or like little dinner meals that you could sign up for. I think we did the breakfast, but I figured dinner we would just kind of figure out what's around there, enjoy the area that we're in, and so we'll figure it out. But I think we'll probably do a few pubs for lunch.
So they mentioned shepherd's pie, right? They mentioned fish and chips, and he mentioned something else that I've heard before besides the English breakfast. What are some other English foods, whether it's street food, restaurant food, whatever dishes that we've definitely got to try in England? Because as people say,
it's not the same
food tastes
places.
better in that country as opposed to someone else trying to do this or that. And I don't really want to go to a place like England or Scotland or whatever to get international food, to get Chinese food or something like that. That's not really any interest to me.
I think we're gonna just eat British food. I know that there's one place in Edinburgh. I can't remember the restaurant anymore. But I was watching them on Instagram and it looked really, really good. And they have like a nice, like small little haggis there. So I was like, we'll try that. We'll try that. Tell us, is haggis worth it? But we got to try it. We have to try it. You
But
can't
not
go to Scotland.
haggis in a can.
No. Oh, no. If you eat haggis in a can, that's fine. That's fine.
No, it's not fine. Let us know what you think about our reaction to this and our thoughts. If you would answer some of our questions or all of them, we really appreciate that. We will read it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.
Goodbye.